There are no strings on me. Oh, never mind. Apparently there is. How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the 4th edition of Prepare for War, the road to Civil War, where today we will be talking about Avengers, Age of Ultron. I'm your host, Astaf. Let's get into it. This movie was directed once again by Joss Whedon and brings back the same cast with a few other players. We got Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch. We have James Spader as Ultron, and we have Paul Bettany as Jarvis, which he's been in the other movies, but in this movie he turns into the Vision. Now, this movie is good. I don't understand the hate for this movie. I don't understand why this movie gets so much heat. Why this movie gets so much hate. I honestly feel bad for Joss Whedon because he feels bad about this movie, which I don't understand why. This movie, in my opinion, is superior to the first movie. I mean, this movie, we get a storyline that makes sense throughout. We have characters that actually are developed, that actually go from point A to point B, and through that journey evolve and change in different ways. Everything about this movie, the fight scenes are incredible. We have even more action to go with. This scene right here alone, the Hulkbuster scene, like, everything about this movie is better than the first one. The reason why I think this movie isn't liked as much is just because they didn't bring back Loki, which you don't need to do. He did his role in Avengers 1, and now we have Ultron in Avengers 2, played by James Spader, which he does an incredible job. This is an AI that was just born in this movie, and he sees the world and is like, I need to fix this, and the way that I can fix this is to destroy it, wipe the slate clean, and let them start over. Which, to an AI, to this superior being that is just created, that makes complete sense. At least it does to me. This movie, there's just, I don't get it. I don't get it. This is my second time watching this movie. I haven't seen this movie since I saw it in the theater last year when it came out. I just think it's so much better than the first one. All the reasons I gave before, I don't understand why it gets so much hate. Why it gets so much hate. My biggest complaint about this movie would be Bruce Banner and Black Widow. Just, no. 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 Hashtag Bucky Black Widow forever. Oh my gosh. Hashtag, let's make it. Let's make it. Because, spoilers or not, that's how it was in the books. And it makes so much more sense. And that scene where she gets the mind thing and they like bring us back to the Red Room and her training to be this assassin. There's one scene where there's a guy who's like got her in like a chokehold, and I was like, if only that was a metal arm. Oh, it would make so much more sense, and it would just tie everything in, and it would be, it would be so good. But, alas, that is a conversation for another time. I feel like I'm saying that a lot in these videos, but we just gotta bring it back. We gotta bring it back to what we're talking about in this video, and that is Age of Ultron. Like I said, I like this movie. I like the beginning of the movie when the team is working together. We see this team that's grown a lot since the first movie. There's definitely been events that have happened that have brought them up to this movie. We don't need to see that because we see the outcome in this movie, and I really like that. I like that it starts off with a team that is solid. We believe that these people have worked together for a long time, and they get along with each other. Now, like I said in my Avengers video, there's not really any moments in time where we see Cap and we see Tony one-on-one together that is proof that they were friends. And while we still don't really get that in this movie, just the way that they interact in the beginning of the movie definitely tells that they at least get along to a point. Like I said before, it's like that coworker. You get that they do things differently and you get why that they do those things, but at the end of the day, you're not gonna go and call them up outside of work and be like, hey, let's go out and get a beer. Again, I didn't see any moment of that. There was one scene at the end when Tony leaves and Cap's talking with him. There's something there of a friendship, but it's not enough to convince me that they were at all friends at any point in time. Now, this movie definitely shows that the two still don't see eye to eye on a lot of things, and it shows that Cap really doesn't trust Tony at all. The Ultron thing is one thing, but then when Tony and Bruce Banner are trying to awaken the Vision, they're trying to upload Jarvis into Vision, Cap comes with Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, and he's like, hey, you gotta stop this. We're not doing this again. You can totally see that he doesn't trust Tony. There's one line that Scarlet Witch says to him before they get there. It's something like, Ultron views this as a way to save the world, and he doesn't realize, he doesn't understand that his version of saving the world is destroying the world. And then she says, do you think Tony's any different? Think of where Ultron came from. And like that whole scene right there, just playing with Cap's mind, you can totally tell he doesn't trust him at all in this movie. Until like that end scene where he's like, I'm gonna miss you, and it's like, are you? But I mean, I guess you're showing that you care, and even Tony's like, the one time in this movie where somebody's like, Cap, what about you? Are you okay? That was a nice scene. I mean, like I said, that's our only glimpse that these two were ever friends at one point. But that's my take on that. Like I said, I love this movie, and I love Hawkeye in this movie. This was the one thing that everybody will agree on. Just like the first movie, everyone can agree on that end fight scene and Loki. This movie, everyone can agree on the Hulkbuster scene and Hawkeye. Everybody loved Hawkeye in this movie because they actually gave him the service that he deserved. I mean, the whole him having a family, even I didn't see that coming. I mean, I didn't learn until after I saw this movie that apparently in like the Ultimates run, which is like its whole separate universe, again, if a conversation for another time, but in those books he does have a family. The regular Marvel universe continuity in the comics, he doesn't. So that was completely new to me, but I liked it. I liked seeing the actress that played Velma in the Scooby-Doo movies. I liked her as his wife. I liked that they had kids. I liked that Black Widow was Aunt Nat. I loved that. He was funny in this movie too. In the scene where like the whole team gets like mind controlled by Scarlet Witch, he's just like, nope, I've done my time. I've done that before. I'm not doing that again. I am way over that. That's not happening again. I loved that scene. And he's just got so much more service, which before this movie, everyone's like, Hawkeye, why is he even in these movies? And especially if you haven't read the Matt Fraction Hawkeye series, if you take anything out of this video, read that book. Read that series. It is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. But anyway, if you haven't read any Hawkeye comics, or you haven't read comics at all, yeah, I can understand why you would think that, because the first movie, he's brainwashed throughout 3/4 of the movie, and the last fourth of the movie, he's just there to fight. You get nothing from his character, and I'm so glad that Joss Whedon was like, alright, look, Jeremy Renner, I gave you nothing in that first movie. So, this movie, to bring you back, I'm going to give you all this. And I just love that they did that. And I like his little pep talk to Scarlet Witch during the last fight when he's just like, there's robots, I have a bow and arrow. Like, none of this makes sense. But it's our job. It's what we got to do. And I loved that. I loved that. So that's my take on Avengers Age of Ultron. I liked this movie. I really liked this movie. This movie, to me, is the superior of the Avengers movies that we've gotten so far. Now, I know everyone's saying that Captain America Civil War is pretty much Avengers 2.5, so that might change after I see that movie on Friday. But for now, Avengers Age of Ultron deserves the seal of excellence.
Bossa Nova!
What? Yeah? Bossa Nova?
Chevy Nova? Excellent!
Thank you all so much for watching this video. I really, truly appreciate it. If you liked this video, please subscribe. Check out my other videos leading up to Civil War. I will leave all the links in the description below. Thank you all so much for watching. Please stay tuned. Up next, I'm going to be having my take on Captain America: The Winter Soldier. And then, come Friday, keep your eyes peeled for Captain America: Civil War. I will be seeing that movie that day. I will try to get that review done that day. I want to get that to you guys as soon as I possibly can. That's the service that you've come for with this channel, so I need to deliver. So with that, again, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see y'all real soon.